All right, it's Aldi time. Okay, now I'm in California, so Aldis aren't crazy popular here, but this has been a popular request. People that are watching my videos. So we're gonna do a little keto grocery haul here at Aldi. Now, Aldi does have some clean options, so it'll be interesting. Hopefully we can do a nice clean keto on a budget. All about trying to save a couple bucks. If we can get out of here for 150 bucks for a week, that'd be awesome. So that's gonna be the goal. We'll see what happens. Let's head on in. Hopefully we don't get kicked out like we have a bad habit of having happen to us. I've never seen that before. You don't have a quarter, do you? They require, you have to pay a quarter to get a cart. What the hell? All right. So, I'm not sure if I like this or appreciate it. All right. So, first off, you don't want to fall victim to things like this. Kale chips doesn't typically mean kale chips, okay? Like, this has kale in it, but it's kale, potato flour, starch. They're potato chips. They just have kale in them, so just be careful with things like that all the time. All right. Whoa, we're already off to a good start. Okay, I don't know this brand, but see, a lot of people have been saying, okay, Aldi has really good keto options. Let's see what's in here. Wow, this is actually really clean. Okay, so we've got aged Parmesan cheese, we've got cheese cultures, salt, and jalapeno. That's actually pretty darn clean Parmesan crisp. A little bit pricey, $2.89. We still need some snacks now and then, so let's go ahead and grab those just so we've got something. Don't want to live on them, but. And whoa, okay, I see what people are saying about Aldi. All right, I might just start doing a little shopping here. We'll just see what we end up as far as budget goes. All right, peanuts, although technically fit into a keto profile, they're technically a legume, not a nut. So not the biggest fan of having them, also a little bit higher carb content than I usually like. 6 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fiber. Not gonna hurt you. If you're on a serious budget, then yeah, that'll work well, but I'm gonna stay away from those. Ooh, what's these? So this company's kind of cool. Let's see. Wow. Okay, we've got white sesame seeds, a little bit of maltose, not a big fan of that. Nori, okay, so we've got some good iodine, you've got good thyroid support there. So it's actually really hard to get iodine outside of iodized salt. Iodized salt is garbage, bleached, it's not good. But with this, we get nori, we get the seaweed in there. We actually get a nice natural form of iodine. So I am gonna get these. I will say, full disclaimer, maltose is a carbohydrate. They have it in there probably as a binder of some kind. So again, easy snack, it's inexpensive. It's $1.99 and at least might get the family through the week a little bit. Probably get 1 or 2 of those. I'm just gonna get 1 for now. So one of the lowest glycemic fruits that you can get is going to be a strawberry. It does not mean that you have a bunch of them. Okay, Dr. Ken Berry, who does a whole lot of stuff in the carnivore world, he posted something on Instagram that I really liked. He had said like a true carnivore diet, now not keto, but carnivore, is good quality meat and a couple of berries. Okay, so even the most devout keto people will still say that a couple of berries are okay. When you're looking at fruits, usually you want to have strawberries simply because they're going to be the lowest glycemic. Blueberries are a close second. $2.95 for organic, so that's pretty solid. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna roll with these. Okay, fresh veggies are always nice. When you're on a budget, frozen really works well, simply because frozen, honestly, it's flash frozen, so you're preserving a lot of the nutrients. So yours are pretty solid there. If you are gonna go fresh, don't wanna go super crazy on the spinach. If you can avoid the spinach, it's a little bit higher in oxalates. It's a little hard to digest. Wow, what is that chirping noise? The oxalates, basically they bind to minerals that are in your digestive tract. So it can help bind the minerals and cause them to be excreted, which can be bad on the keto diet, but not that big of a deal. None of these look really, really good. I think I will go ahead and I will get a little bit of arugula. It's probably one of the more nutrient dense ones. So I'll get this. That way I'm not just getting low quality spring mix or romaine. This is worth pointing out. Be careful of salad dressings that are in the refrigerated section, because a lot of times they lead you to believe that they're really high quality, but in reality, it's still canola oil, so probably the lowest quality oil they could possibly use. Then we have a bunch of other things. We got tapioca starch, we got carrageenan. Carrageenan is a thickener and a stabilizer. The whole point of having it in the refrigerated section is so you don't need that stuff. So they're still kind of like fluffing this up a little bit. I understand from an economic standpoint why they do it, but So you're almost better off just getting the cheaper stuff. At that rate, it's the same stuff. You're just paying more because you think it's high quality in the refrigerated section. No thanks. Kombucha. Kombucha can be tricky. Okay, see, we still have a lot of carbs in kombucha. 6 grams of carbs, but servings per container, 2. 12 grams of carbs. You're a third of the way through your carb content for the day, so just be careful there. Now we're talking. This is the kind of stuff that I dig. All right, we got good quality kimchi. This is something like, I could literally use this as a vegetable replacement. Like if I didn't want to load up with a bunch of fresh veggies, I'd be down to just have this. Okay, we've got really good quality cruciferous vegetables in there. We've got bok choy, we've got broccoli. It looks like broccoli, no broccoli in this one. Some of it has broccoli, but we've got cabbage, we've got some bok choy, so all stuff that's gonna ferment, kale and radish in there. So the whole purpose of kimchi is you get this nice fermented effect. So you get a good digestive component, good probiotic effect, and then the actual liquid itself, you can use as a marinade. Like I marinate chicken in it, I marinate broccoli in it, all kinds of things. It's a little bit pricey, so it does hurt my budget, but honestly, it's worth it because I could replace veggies with this. So let's go ahead and grab that. So I did see some avocados over there, but when you're on the go and you're feeding a family, it's almost easier to just get guacamole. This is a pretty good deal, $2.99 for some good quality guacamole. Let's see what's in it. Hass avocados, tomatoes, onions, lime juice. Wow. Actually good stuff compared to some of this. Yeah, I don't want to get one that has black beans or anything. Like, this is pretty awesome. 18.7 cents per ounce versus 29.9 cents per ounce. This just makes way more sense. I'm gonna get this. This is like good quality fats for the week. This is gonna help me out. All right, okay, here's something good to talk about. Salami versus prosciutto. Okay, salami is obviously a little bit higher fat content. Prosciutto is usually a little bit higher sodium content. I like prosciutto because it's easier to keep it a little bit lean. So if you want just cured meats or anything like that, it's not the highest quality stuff in the world, but I'd say it's better than salami. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get some prosciutto in this case. Not a bad price. Actually, you know what? I put that in the wrong spot. Let's see. Yeah, $3.29. It's actually cheaper too. So this is just good stuff on the go. All right, so I am gonna grab some prosciutto. All right, we're in the cheese department. Now, you've probably seen my video, or maybe you haven't, where I break down all the different kinds of cheeses. It's time to get cheesy. Let's just get downright cheesy on this, and cheeses that are good for you and stuff like that. Cheeses you should avoid on keto, cheeses you shouldn't have on keto, cheeses you can have on keto, moderation. I went into detail. Nice thing about Aldi, they have goat cheese readily accessible at a really good price. That's $1.99 for some plain old goat cheese, or $2.39 for it in crumbles. Goat cheese is generally an A2 casein protein, which means it doesn't have what's called BCM7 in it. I'm not going to go into exquisite detail, but basically it doesn't have the caseinates that cause an opioid effect, or opioid reflex within your body. So you don't get that addiction that you would get to normal cheese, but also just much easier on the system. So goat cheese whenever you possibly can. The next best bet is going to be Parmesan, which honestly we could get some Parmesan, but it doesn't always work in the same methods that goat cheese would work. The goat cheese works great on anything. You can spread it on stuff. You can't spread Parmesan cheese. So I'm gonna get some goat cheese. I'm just gonna get one thing of it because you don't need much. Wow. We get all kinds of good quality fats here. So we've got tzatziki, so that's a Greek yogurt sort of, it's a dip kind of thing you can use it with cucumbers, things like that. Really mild taste. I like this because it doesn't have a ton of sodium. So if you're looking for a dip that doesn't have a bunch of sodium, then tzatziki is gonna be nice. So again, I've got some good fats here, but I don't want to just load up on random stuff. So I think I'm going to pass on this for the sake of being on a budget, but good to go there. Feta is usually from sheep. So if you get good quality feta, you're going to be in the same ballpark as you would be with goat cheese, okay? So higher sodium for sure. They add a lot more salt to it to get it to culture and to do its thing. So you can kind of pick. You can go feta or you can go goat cheese. Some people like the taste of feta more than goat. It's got that tanginess, whereas goat cheese has kind of a strange goat aftertaste. Let's see what else they've got here. Now we are talking. Okay, so smoked salmon. Wild caught salmon is always best, but you don't usually find wild caught in a smoked form just because it usually is farmed in some ways. This was raised in Norway, which has different standards than the US. Okay, so in the US has farmed salmon, it's a big issue. Norway has pretty good standards. I happen to know that Norway is actually really solid with that. Atlantic salmon, salt, sodium lactate, and beechwood smoked. Sodium lactate isn't a huge deal. That still is, for all intents and purposes, pretty naturally derived. This stuff is really good. Okay, really good quality fat. Obviously getting your nice omega-3 profile, even though it's technically raised in Norway and it's technically probably farmed, it's still gonna have a nice omega-3, omega-6 ratio. So I'll go ahead and get that because that is a really good price. I don't see any sausages or anything like that that would be good. See, this is the stuff I don't like. Any deli meat, even the one that says, it got the Self-Healthy Food Awards, we still into this. Look at, this is what you wanna look at. Turkey breast, then water, means it's inflated, but then it's got dextrose, so it's basically becoming a starch, sodium phosphate, and browned in soybean oil. I mean, that's a healthy one. So deli meat, it's really tough, guys. It really is. Ooh. Oh man, they got barbecue. Like this would be perfect. This is the kind of thing, like if you could just heat and serve stuff, and this is like their super inexpensive area, like their discount section. I see that this would be great if it didn't have the barbecue sauce. Actually, sorry, but holy moly, that would take me like a year to read. So I'm just gonna pass on that. Let's see what they got in the way of some beef stuff. Okay, you know me, I'm always about grass-fed, grass-finished beef, but when we're on a budget, we're probably not gonna be finding all of that, especially at a store like Aldi. Oh yes, okay, cool. We do have some bison. That is not that cheap, but it's a good price for bison. Okay, we're talking $7.99 a pound is good. That's like right in the world of Costco prices. So bison is FDA regulated, so that it cannot be eating grain. It has to be fed on pasture. Pasture raised is the way we want to go, but also pasture finished, and bison is going to have that. So don't hate on me for spending 15 bucks or 16 bucks on getting a couple things of bison right now, because this is really a little bit is going to go a long way. Nice high fat content. 4 servings of this is going to be almost 200 calories. Okay, so we're in really good shape there. We don't even need much of it. This will serve me, throughout the week. So I'm in a good spot there. An interesting thing is lamb and mutton. Not the biggest fan of eating those kinds of animals, to be honest, but it's pretty cool. Okay, like usually the omega-3 profile for lamb is really, really good. I'm not gonna get this because I just generally don't like it that much. But it's just something for you to know. If you get lamb, if you get mutton, anything like that, it's a really good fatty acid profile. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, okay, let's see. Okay, here's something to know. Okay, 100% grass-fed ground beef. It's not grass-finished. This is a big deal. Okay, grass-fed is not grass-finished. It's not the same. However, Australia has different standards. If it's Australian grass-fed, that does mean that they were finished on a pasture as well. But what gets tough is it says product of Australia, Uruguay, and or USA. It makes it pretty darn difficult, but we're on a budget, guys. We're not trying to, I'm just trying to show you how you can eat as clean as possible while on a budget. So I'm still gonna get a couple of these, okay? I'm human. I don't always eat like absolutely 100% the, whoa. I think I won the prize. I don't always eat exactly what I say you should be eating because you don't always run into the situations where you can get that kind of stuff. So just being realistic here. When you're on a budget, ground meat is always easier. Plus it's easier to masticate. It's easier to digest, easier to break down because you're not having to actively chew it as much. It's plain and simple. Wild caught Alaskan salmon at $12.99 a pound, that's really solid. Okay, so Alaskan sockeye wild caught. The deeper the red color, well, that's not comparing apples to apples or salmon to salmon, but the deeper the red color, you have a lot more in the way of just all kinds of different minerals. Okay, so we do want the red one whenever possible. Again, being on a budget, I don't know if it makes sense to get this right now. Being on a budget I don't know if it makes sense to get this right now, especially since I got some smoked salmon, and I don't know if I want to spend $17 of my budget on this. But the fatty acid profile of pork is decent, but you want the fatty acid profile of pork coming from mainly from things like bacon, where it's the belly, where it's more saturated fat, and not the different polyunsaturated fats. So none of these pork pieces are really of that much interest to me. Here's something to note. When it comes to your ground fowl, your ground poultry, or anything like that, the fat that is in white meat is a really cruddy fatty acid profile. So what I mean by that is if you're gonna go for a ground turkey or a ground chicken, I know it doesn't taste as good, but go with the leaner one because you don't want more fat coming from a white meat because it's lower quality fat. You might as well get your fats from good, clean sources and go with the leaner meat. So in this case, I'll get some of this ground turkey, 93%, it's pretty lean. Oh wait, you know what? We've got even better. What's this? $3.49 a pound. I can still get organic 93 for $5.99 a pound. I'm gonna get 2 of those. And then I'll probably get 1 thing of chicken breast. $6.49 a pound. Looking for a week here. Let me do a quick calculation. Could have bison one night with the family, bison another night with the family, bolognese one night. I mean, quite frankly, like I'm set. I'm set with meat for the family now. So that's pretty cool. Okay, let's go ahead and let's head down some other areas here. People think that you can't eat organic or you can't eat clean on a budget. Like, honestly, that is enough to feed a family of 2, maybe even a family of 3. Actually, let's go this way. You know, sauces, obviously on keto, hit and miss. I'm very, very, very wary of peanut butters because they're usually full of junk. Dry roasted peanuts, sugar, hydrogenated vegetable oil. Hydrogenated is a pure trans fat. Okay, it takes 51 days in the human body for a trans fat to break down. The CIS and the trans bonds are different. The body doesn't know how to break them down all the way. This one's not bad. I don't see any almond butter here or anything. If I do come across it, I'll grab one. But $3.39 for organic peanut butter. Obviously, getting some fats in, getting our calories. The nice thing about a ketogenic diet is you don't need nearly as much protein. Okay, that's, if you're new to my channel, you may not know this, but if you watch my channel, you know that the nice thing about the ketogenic diet is because the levels of ketones that are in your blood, you maintain muscle really easily without ever having to have a lot of protein. You can have more protein and it's not gonna cause an issue, certainly not, but you can get by with having less and not lose muscle. So this is really cool because you actually can do keto on a budget much easier than you would think, simply because you don't have to eat the more expensive stuff like the meats all the time. All right, now we got some, oh, nice. Oh, okay, we are talking good stuff here. Good quality ghee. Okay, so we've got, look at that ingredient, cow's milk fat. That's all ghee is, makes it really, really easy. So I am gonna get some of this, but mind you, this is gonna last me a month. So even if I were to go over budget a little bit because of this bad boy, it's not a huge deal. Definitely want some coconut oil. Again, organic, unrefined, cold pressed coconut oil. We're in business there. Honestly, it's gonna last me another couple weeks. So I'm really, really solid. Like, even again, I won't have to buy this but every other week. So we could effectively count this as half of what it really costs. Keto is all about getting the healthy fats in. Okay, now we get a nice, we've got avocado oil. And the nice about avocado oil, really high smoke point. So we can cook with it and it doesn't denature. Normally, fats will end up breaking down. And if you have a fat, like a polyunsaturated fat, every time you cook with it, it's gonna break down and it's gonna go through what's called lipid peroxidation, which really can be toxic within the body. Okay, it's byproducts that aren't just toxic in a, like, oh, you're gonna get sick 20 years down the road sense, but toxic in the way that you're actually going to be manipulating or changing how the fats are metabolized. And that can be really, really bad on your body and actually make it so you don't burn as much fat. All right, well, now we got our pork rinds. Not the best quality pork rinds. I'm always trying to find ones that are, I mean, it's still not bad, not organic or anything, but fried pork skins and salt, that's all there is to it. $1.49. And why not have the kiddos eat pork rinds instead of feeding them crackers, right? Stevia. One thing you do have to be careful. Ooh, I'm not gonna get this one. Okay, so we've got erythritol, stevia, natural flavors. I don't see regular straight up stevia. I don't have a big problem with stevia. It's just, that makes it tough. And then you've got this stuff. So the bigger bags of stevia, maltodextrin, stevia. So although we don't have erythritol in this one, we have maltodextrin. So now we've got a pure starch that's gonna spike your insulin. That makes it really tough. Okay, I probably can't get my sweeteners here. That's not a big deal. A little disheartening. I'm not gonna get this because it's not an essential, but $5.99 and we've got almond flour that's blanched and really finely ground. Those of you that think you can't cook on keto, or bake, should I say, pretty solid there. Not a bad price. Yeah, okay, 29 cents for some tomato sauce. Getting this simply because I got some ground meat. I like to make like a bolognese. I like to make, sometimes get some spaghetti squash, things like that. So honestly, probably get 4 of these. It's a great way to just add a little flavor without adding a bunch of just unnecessary stuff. I'm not trying to be negative, just so you guys know. Like, I just want to point things out. We don't want to have cellulose added to prevent caking or potassium sorbate. That's why it's better to just go fresh. I know this stuff lasts longer and it's like $1 cheaper, but just get fresh. It tastes better anyway. Edamame spaghetti. If you are deep in ketosis and you've been doing keto for a while, you have a little bit more flexibility as far as your carbs go with fiber. Although this is edamame and it's technically going to be soy, it's not something you want to eat all the time. This is kind of cool. Okay, 20 grams of carbs, 13 of which are from fiber. If you are really craving a little bit of pasta, a little bit of this would be okay. Guys, people bag on the whole soy thing all the time. Soy is not good, okay? But at least organic soy, you're not getting the GMOs, you're not getting the crazy stuff that Monsanto's dealing with, right? If you have a small amount of this, it can actually help out estrogen levels and balance it. You just don't want to have too much. So this is something I wouldn't do more than, I don't know, maybe every other week, but it's nice to have on hand and it doesn't go bad. And it gives you a little bit of satiety and quite honestly, it gives you the fiber that sometimes you end up missing out on a keto diet. And obviously, this is a grocery haul video. It's my first time here. Will I miss some things? Absolutely. But if I can teach you a little bit of stuff as I go, then heck yeah, okay? I'm just trying to teach you a little bits and pieces as I go. A common question is coconut water. Coconut water is not good on keto, okay? It's still a lot of sugar in that stuff. 18 grams, 39 in a whole thing. That's basically a soda. You could also just eat dog food. It's usually pretty low carb. So far, this seems to be working. All right. One of my favorite things on keto is oysters. Mildly spiced. The cottonseed oil that they put them in isn't the best, and you can't usually find oysters in water. Yeah, cottonseed oil, just give them a good bath. It's not, when I say give them a bath, just rinse them. It's not something that I would highly recommend all the time, just so you know, but I am a sucker for smoked oysters, and they are a great way to just get some good quality fats in. There's a lot of recent science coming out saying that clams, oysters, mussels, anything like that is actually really solid and one of the best amino acid profiles that you can find. Here's some interesting things. So when you get sardines at like a discount store, sardines are like one of the highest omega-3 content fish that you can possibly find. Very inexpensive. The hard part is almost always when they're in oil, they're going to be in soybean oil, which is just not good. So I try to get them in water whenever possible. But a lot of times you can find ones that are in like mustard. This one's got mustard flour, which is just mustard. Acetic acid, that's literally just vinegar. It's got the cornstarch and the turmeric color, the xanthan. It's got a bunch of other stuff, which I don't like. Let's see what we got here. I would hate to say it, but like when you look at the ingredients, soybean oil sucks, okay? It's not good. Try to get it in water, but if you're limited with your selection, people will say, oh, well, I'll get it in the mustard sauce, it's less fat. Guys, we've got the xanthan gum, we've got modified cornstarch, we've got all these other colorings compared to that. When in doubt, less ingredients is gonna be better. So I'm gonna get a couple things of sardines, I'm gonna get them in the oil, and I'm gonna make sure I wash them really thoroughly. And then I've also got my oysters. My wife makes me eat the oysters outside. If I eat them, she says, go outside, because she doesn't like the smell of them. She thinks they're horribly disgusting, and a lot of people do. If you agree, you can comment down below, whatever. So I have to eat them outside. So I call it my smoke break, because it's my smoked oysters break. Let's see what we got in the way of tuna. Okay, so I've talked about this in other videos too. We got chunk light tuna in oil, or sorry, we want to get this in water if we did. Chunk light in water versus solid white tuna in water. Both in water, which one's going to be better? Most people are going to look at this and they're going to say, oh, the protein content in the albacore is better. The mercury content and the toxic effect of what is in albacore is significantly worse than chunk light. Chunk light is a smaller tuna, albacore is bigger. It's going to also more dense. So if you're going to go with the tuna, go with the actual chunk light. It's really not that bad. The other thing you can do is you can go with skipjack, and skipjack is really good because it's much more sustainably caught. So I'm going to go and I'm going to grab some skipjack. And this is perfect. So now I've got lunch food. I mean, I've got my dinner, I've got my lunch if I wanted to make a tuna salad. I may need to find some mayonnaise. I might have walked past it earlier, but I mean, that's some pretty good stuff there. It's just big old sardines. And this would be cool if it didn't have the sugar. I just saw some bigger sardines there. Oh. It's an interesting store. All right, so eggs can be sketchy. I love my eggs, but it's hard to get good quality ones. Try to get eggs, honestly, locally. That's gonna be the best bet with eggs. But again, I get it, you're on a budget. Kind of brings up the question, like, what's better, free range or organic? Free range, if not organic, doesn't mean much of anything. Okay, it just means that they're out on a range and they still feed them the same garbage, right? At least with organic, they might be in a cage, but at least the grain and the soy and the stuff that they're feeding them is organic. So when you're trying to figure out between free range or organic, go for organic, okay? Now, if you ever can, you want to have organic free range. That's obviously the best, but I don't even see that option here. So I was put in a little bit of a corner. I'm just gonna get this. Now, I don't need a whole lot of eggs. Why? Because I'm just using the eggs for the fat. I'm just using the yolks for the most part. Almond milk, I definitely want to get. Ooh. Again, if you have an option between coconut milk and almond milk, this is original. See, they have coconut milk, but you have to be very careful. Original has sugar, okay? Very careful there. You have to find the coconut milk or almond milk, you have to find ones that say unsweetened. See how easy it is to miss that? And chances are you've had this before and you've just been like, oh, it tastes extra good today, but you probably got the sweetened one by mistake. So I'm gonna get one of this organic vanilla unsweetened. It's got a little bit more of a flavor. It tastes closer to milk. I don't mind a little bit of vanilla flavor. It's not gonna kill you. It's not Kerrygold brand, but all right, what do we got? I'm a big Greek yogurt guy. Looks like the Greek yogurt selection's not too great. If I'm gonna get Greek yogurt, I'm gonna get like a 2%. I'm not gonna get a fat-free. Fat-free is much more likely to have other things in it to increase the taste. And dairy fat, to a small degree, is actually okay. Okay, so heptadenoic acid is actually an okay fat. That's and then also heptadenoic, and then also there's one other one, trans-palmitoleic. Those are dairy fats that have been shown in studies to actually help out overall with lifespan and help out reducing the risk of cardiovascular disease and things like that. So really not a bad thing. But I don't see any 2% or any that. So let me see here. Yeah. It's okay. I might be able to live without the Greek yogurt this time. I'm gonna go with some cottage cheese. Let's see what they got here. Ouch. This isn't even, guys, this isn't supposed to be like an active pitch for a product at all. But this is the kind of thing, I did a cottage cheese video. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about. When you go to the grocery store, this is what you normally see when you see cottage cheese. Like if you look at and this isn't, again, just a pitch for Good Culture, but if you look at like Good Culture cottage cheese, I'll have the video team make sure they show a clip of what the ingredient profile looks. That's what cottage cheese should look like. Looks not like this. I can't even, no, xanthan gum, carrageenan, carabine gum, citric acid, carbon dioxide, potassium sorbate. Cottage cheese is hard to stabilize, so anyone that does it right, it's worth getting. I can't even honestly recommend getting that. It's a little bit of a bummer. All right. Bacon. All right. I was never that big of a bacon fan. And then, you know, what, 9 years ago or so when I started keto, I just started loving it. So the fat that comes from bacon is coming from the belly fat of the pig, which is much more saturated. So you get, the saturated fats are like stearic acid and they're more stabilized fats. So I'm okay with getting those kind of fats, whereas the fatty acid profile from the rest of the bacon isn't as good. Turkey bacon, it's okay, it's not bad. Okay, you're just gonna get a better fatty acid profile from pork bacon. Now, when I'm looking here, I'm not seeing a whole lot of good quality regular bacon. Oh, this is cool, okay. Interesting stuff to note. So when you're looking at labels, again, you wanna see things that say never any, because the FDA allows food companies and meat packaging to say no hormones, no antibiotics. They're allowed to say that and they can still give them antibiotics. It just is within a certain time frame of when they go to harvest. So that pig could have had antibiotics in it 6 months ago, but it was outside of the time frame that the FDA requires them to mention it. Never any antibiotics, hormones, okay? Here's a kind of a double negative here. Never any vegetarian diet. But anyway, I'm gonna get this. This is not bad. A little bit of salt and a little bit of sugar, which is gonna happen with hickory bacon. The good news is once you cook it, the sugar burns off. Not the best stuff in the world, but it'll work. This is the danger zone. Fly into the danger zone. I like my Tahava. That's just for fun. All right, now here's something you guys need to know. Cauliflower pizza crusts are not usually what they say. Okay, they're playing on the ignorance sometimes. So this says it's a cauliflower crust. First of all, whoa, that's a lot more than just a cauliflower crust. Okay, so we've got water, cauliflower powder, rice flour. Okay, so it's mainly, look at the, come on. 69 grams of carbs. That's not exactly cauliflower crust. Oh yeah, wild caught. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so remember how I said I didn't want to get salmon because I didn't want to spend $17? $3.99 for wild caught pink salmon. Okay, wild caught. I'm getting this for $3.99. That's insanely cheap. So again, frozen, especially with fish, is really good because frozen, it's usually frozen right after they catch it. They catch it and they put it in a freezer on the boat. So you're retaining as much as you possibly can, whereas sometimes fresh is actually less quality than frozen. I'm gonna get 2 of these, and again, factor in that this very well could last me a couple of weeks. We got some burgers and stuff too. That's kind of cool. Like that's the kind of thing like could feed a kiddo. Like he loves like burger patty, things like that. If that has a good ingredient profile. I'm gonna save the time today and not go through it. Tilapia, avoid like the plague. Let's see, rice flour, well, cauliflower, garlic and herb. Let's see what's in that. Oh, nice. So even this one, rice, cauliflower, garlic and herb. I was expecting a bunch of weird stuff in there. No, we got pre-cooked cauliflower, and we've got garlic, and we got parsley. That's awesome. Okay, like, who says that you can't make a good, healthy dinner for your kids and your family on keto? Like that it has to be covered in cheese. Like I could take this, I could cook up some bacon, chop it up into small pieces, mix it into the rice cauliflower, and then have a salmon patty on top of that with some coconut oil in the cauliflower rice to make it a little bit smoother. And like, I've got a really good meal. Like, that's a really good, healthy, solid meal that people are gonna like. So I'll just get a couple of those. Actually, I'll probably get one more just so you get the realism of the budget. Veggies are actually great to get frozen. I mentioned it earlier, but they're flash frozen. So every time you harvest a vegetable and it goes onto the truck, it's oxidizing, okay? It's oxidizing and it's denaturing while it's on the truck. At least it's frozen right at the peak of harvest in this case. So, steamed broccoli florets. And these, I thought we were getting kicked out. Okay. So with these, you can steam them in the bag. These are supposed to be BPA-free bags, so you'd probably be okay. Probably take them out and steam them separately though, to be honest. I thought for sure we were gonna get kicked out at that point. A lady came walking over. We have a bad habit of getting kicked out of grocery stores when we do this. And she was walking towards us and I was like, oh, here it comes. And then, nope, she's helping a customer with Beyond Meat. Ooh, nice. Yeah, so Halo Top's something, it's technically not keto friendly, but it's close enough. If you wanted a treat, I mean, it's full of junk, but honestly, I like what they're at least doing. So I'm not gonna get any today, but that's not bad. It's nice that Aldi has it at least. Like honestly, that's not something you can find in a lot of normal grocery stores. Enlightened, same kind of thing. What? Okay, no, it's... Again, here's another one of those things that can get tricky, right? Okay, so ingredients, cauliflower, corn, because I've got all the corn up here. Like if you wanted to just eat plain rice cauliflower, this would work, but it's kind of weird. Just because this is on sale. Now, this is the kind of thing, I mean, $4.50 for this. I've got almonds, rosemary almonds, chai spiced almonds, roasted salted deluxe mixed nuts. That's not bad for 24.3 cents per ounce, and I get like a nice little variety. The chai spice I think has sugar. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, not worth it then, never mind. Always check, double check. So I'm trying to find coconut cream because I like to use it as a creamer. I'm not seeing it. It's kind of a bummer. So in that case, you might want to sub that out for maybe a little bit of heavy cream or a little, don't get half and half, try to use heavy cream just because half and half has a lot more milk sugar because it's half milk, half cream. So I might go grab a thing of heavy cream. I was hoping maybe I missed them earlier. All right. I am gonna get some peanuts because they didn't have any almonds or anything here. So again, just go easy on the peanuts. Yeah, at least these are just peanuts. That's all that's in it. But actually, this one might have salt. Yeah, I'm okay with salt. I mean, again, remember, on keto, what's happening is your kidneys expelling a lot of water because you have so much in the way, or so little in the way of insulin. It's a natural response for your kidneys to flush water. So your electrolytes, your potassium, your sodium, everything leaves. So it's okay with that. All right, actually, I take that back. They were right in front of me all along. They just have them on an end cap. Let's see what we got. All right, cashews, technically a fruit. They're expensive, they're sweet, and they're not the best keto one. For what they've got here, almonds aren't gonna always be the best either because of the phytic acid. I always find I get really bloated when I have that. Although this has some cashews in it, the fact that it has walnuts and macadamia nuts in it is kind of nice. Probably go with this one so I can at least, avoid the cashews a little bit and have some more in the way of pecans, walnuts. Walnuts are the highest omega-3 fat nut that you're gonna find. Pistachios are awesome, but they're also the highest carb. Yeah, 9 grams of carbs, so I love them, but. All right, let's go with these guys. And try to just buy one bag so I don't go overboard. Baking cocoa. Okay, just 100% cocoa. Again, not organic in this case, but it's $1.95. I'll mix this with almond milk, add a little bit of stevia, and make a delicious little treat that I can sip on. Perfect thing to have before bed, just hanging out after having some dinner, watching a little bit of TV with the family. It's a great little thing to have. So cocoa is awesome. Don't think that it all has to have sugar in it. Just get it from the baking aisle. And if they were to have actual cocoa, like chocolate bars, like baking chocolate, I would have grabbed some of that too. Okay, just gonna grab some heavy cream and we'll be out of here. Heavy whipping cream. Okay, again, the dairy fat is not that bad. It's not the fat from the dairy that I have a problem with. It's the caseins and the milk sugars, which you're gonna get out of half and half. You're better off to use a little less heavy cream than you are to use twice as much half and half, especially in your coffee, all right? So I got this guy. I think I'm good to go.
Total is $148.95. What's that thing?
That's a little camera.
My goal was 150 bucks. I nailed it.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty good. You should
Yeah.
go on like grocery games.
Yeah, seriously. I love that show.
My cousin is one of the announcers on it, Troy.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, it's a very cool show.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, no, I grew up in Sonoma, it's up near Santa Rosa, where Guy's from and all that. So it's awesome.
Yeah. Very cool.
Very
Have
cool.
a great day,
Thank
guys.
you.
Good weekend.
You too.
Thanks.
Oh my God, that was so refreshing. We were welcomed with open arms at a grocery store with a camera. One thing I did forget about Aldi is that they don't offer you bags or boxes. So now I gotta stuff these in my truck. That's all right. 148. I made it. All right, and I also got things that are gonna be good for a couple of weeks. So I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty stoked that I nailed that. And we got good quality, grass-fed, grass-finished meat. We got organic meats. Like, who says you can't eat clean on a budget? This would easily feed a family of 3, possibly even 4 if you're on keto, and most of your calories are coming from highly calorically dense foods. Like, there's no reason that you have to just settle for garbage. You can eat clean, and you can shop at a place like Aldi, which is pretty much a discount grocer. So I'm happy with what I got. This will honestly carry into the next week. Sure, there's gonna be overlap. Some of you might argue, oh, well, you need more of this and that. Guys, like, it was a grocery haul video. Give me a little bit of a break. But I think this lays it out pretty darn nicely. And Aldi's rocks because they didn't kick me out. No, this video is not sponsored by GMC. I still can't believe they had some of this stuff. Like, wild caught salmon, like for $3.99? Like, that's insane. That is so insanely cool. I should have stocked up on that. My bison, like for the same price as Costco. Like, who needs a Costco membership if you can get bison here? Which, by the way, if you guys want to see a Costco grocery haul video, let me know down in the comment section. Hey, you get your quarter back. It's just a deposit. I can go get a gumball now. All right. I'm still proud over the fact that I pretty much guessed the price almost exactly. And I don't know, maybe I need to go on The Price is Right. I won't have to be making YouTube videos anymore. If I win big and win the Buick. So once again, to kind of summarize, this wasn't perfect, right? The idea of this was getting clean food for keto to prove that it can be done, and just to teach you how to shop clean at a discount grocery store. I mean, I did one at Walmart. If you haven't seen that one already, we'll put it down below in the description so you can check that one out. I've done some stuff at Trader Joe's. I want to do more at Trader Joe's. I've done a Smart and Final one where we got kicked out, but that was just like a quick hit, just a few things. I'd love to do more grocery haul videos if you want to see them, but my series is always going to be about clean keto. It's always going to be about how do we get the right things for the right price and not sacrifice our health for a buck. Because no matter where you go, you can make pretty healthy choices if you are just armed with the right knowledge. And everything in life is a give and a take. It's all relative. You know, if you're going to spend less money at a discount grocery store, then you're going to have to spend more time educating yourself on what to get. So it's all a balancing act. And that's what I'm here to help you out. I'm here to show you the ropes and show you what you can learn and how you can ultimately save money so that your family can eat healthy. So as always, please keep it locked in here on my channel. And if you want more of these videos, I need you to comment down below and see what kind of grocery store you want me to go to. I'm happy to fly to a different part of the country to really do one at a different grocery store. I don't have Kroger's on the West Coast, so maybe I'll fly somewhere to do a Kroger's. Anyhow, thank you all very much. I'll see you soon.